Well, not exactly the way we wanted the Yankees to go into the All-Star break.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias, and this episode is brought to you by Sleeper. Swing for the fences on Sleeper picks, and you could win up to 100 times your money. Download the Sleeper app and use promo code LOCKEDON, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Check out Sleeper today, currently operational in over 30 states. With me, as always, is my producer, Steve Granado. Steve, it's Monday.
It's Monday, and the ceremonial first half is over. Stace, of course, the MLB Draft is underway. Coming up later on in the show, we're going to talk about the first-round pick that the Yankees picked up, another shortstop. Should you be concerned? Are the Yankees getting too many shortstops? We got you. Don't worry. We're going to talk about it later on in the show. Of course, it's Minors Monday, so a prospects-heavy show here today. We're going to talk about, of course, the MLB Futures game, which showcased two Yankees in it. And we also had some incredible pitching performances again this week. Spoiler alert, Somerset. That's coming up a little bit later on in the show. Stacey, the Yankees head into the All-Star break 49-41, a far cry from the record they had last year at the All-Star break of 64-28. Let's start with this Sunday loss at the hands of the Cubs, 7-4, rain delays. Herman looked pretty good, though.
Why did he take him out? Why did he take him out? The one time that he should, the whole thing was he wanted to get the bullpen arms in. He wanted to, it's like, why? There's not a game tomorrow. Did he forget that? I don't understand. The one time I wanted Herman to actually stay in the game, he was doing fine. What do you only have, 74 pitches? Why?
6 innings, 1 hit, 2 earned, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts. The bullpen suddenly, Stacey, over the last week, heading into the break, I mean, thankfully for Yankees fans, this is the first time it's faltered consistently.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good thing because you could very much have a bullpen that's been doing this the whole time, but they haven't been. It's just been the last couple of games.
They're tired.
Yeah, maybe.
They're
probably
tired from, starters not lasting as long as they would like them to last and have to use them because the bullpen usage, we don't have the numbers in front of us right now. Let's talk about that later in the week because, Yes puts up the graphic and, for everyone, there were so many numbers last week for the guys. And it was just who was available to, on Saturday, they were thinking maybe if Cole didn't last, they would put Herman in. Yeah. From the bullpen. Thank God that didn't happen. But, it was they were really getting down to the wire. And it's these guys are tired. That's what it is. I don't think they're suddenly bad. They're all just tired. They need this All-Star break badly.
Yeah, they do. Marinaccio and Holmes just getting hit around a little bit there. I mean, the Glaber error in the 7th there on Sunday obviously did not help. Tommy Kahnle gives up that 2-run single to Yan Gomes, who was pinch hitting for Patrick Wisdom there. So it just kind of all fell apart on the Yankees there. They had a chance, obviously, to win that game, win the series. Nice to see Anthony Rizzo with that RBI double in the first inning. Great to see Volpe going deep and the power coming around, the average coming around. His at-bats look much better recently over the last few weeks. That 2-run shot, Higgy goes back-to-back with him. Second time in the last calendar week, essentially, that they do that. So that's
we all
nice
predicted that to happen.
Yeah, seriously.
Those two.
But I would love to see Higgy start to hit a little bit more, which he is. So there are good signs offensively, which ironically enough, but there are some good signs offensively if you're looking a little bit deeper. But just a winnable game, and it's just a tough pill to swallow. But the Yankees, at least on Saturday, Stace, Giancarlo Stanton, man, that first bomb and then another bomb in that game, that's the Stanton you're looking for.
Yes, and he had his high socks back. Why did he get rid of them? Why?
There it is. That's it.
As soon as he hit that bomb, I was like, it's the high socks. And then, what they thought was a triple, but I knew right away it hit off the foul pole. And I just loved the teasing that Judge was doing with Stanton because they showed him from the dugout holding up 3 fingers. And Stanton's like, it went around. They're going to call this a home run. I know I'm going to be scoring on this.
Garrett Cole, what'd you think of him? 7 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned, a walk, and 5 Ks.
I think he should have come out sooner, so he wouldn't have had 3 runs, because you could tell he was kind of losing it a bit. See, Boone didn't take out Cole soon enough, and he took out Herman too soon, because Boone needs the All-Star break too.
We all need the All-Star break. We're all
Actually,
tired.
truthfully, we all do. Yes.
We're all a little tired. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Michael King and ending in 2/3 shutout frames. That was good pitching, man. He looked
Yeah,
good on
he
Saturday.
looked all. Which pitch is it of his that he throws that dives away from right-handed batters was working really well.
Sinker?
I believe so. It looked amazing. Yeah, he looked really good. So the one guy from the bullpen who was he looked
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, Michael King has had a couple of
Yeah.
iffy outings. I mean, again, everybody is just that bullpen is just it's really being tested. It's really being tested.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we didn't even touch on Harrison Bader on Saturday. I mean, that rip for a double, the RBI, and then ending that game with that catch. Like, it's nice to see because this is what Bader was starting to do when he got the injury last time.
Yeah. Oh yes, he and he loves it because he's from here. So it's just fun. It's fun for someone who grew up liking the Yankees, playing for the Yankees, helping them win, and doing it in a myriad of ways. And the way I knew he was going to get the ball, but the way he landed and the way he kind of stayed in that one position looked like me trying to do dead bugs when I was working out. Yeah, he was in dead bug position.
Speaking of dead, how about a dead offense on Friday? 3-0. Jameson Taillon, a 1-hit performance. But I mean, Carlos Rodon, you got to be thrilled with that. 5 1/3, 4 hits. I mean, I liked the fire he brought to that game too. Obviously upset when he gave up that second run.
Yeah.
4 hits, those 2 earned, 2 walks, and 2 Ks. Yes, the Yankees get shut out that night, and it was a tough night. But I liked what I saw from Carlos Rodon, kind of carrying what he had in Somerset and Hudson Valley in his rehab appearances.
Yeah, I liked it too. I like the fieriness, and I like when pitchers are pissed off about their performances, even when they're not that bad. You want to see that from someone, and
Yep.
I appreciated the unbuttoned jersey showing off the chest hair.
Oh yeah, love it. Stace, we made bold predictions, of course, as we always do, and it's time to see who wins. I'm leading in this category 2 to 0.5 right now. These were our bold predictions heading into the Chicago series. Let's take a listen. Try not to look bad on Monday. What are your bold predictions?
I'll say they sweep again, like I said about the Cardinals.
You say the Yankees sweep Chicago.
Yeah, I do. I think they're gonna. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to say they're going to sweep because I'm thinking Jameson Taillon has been horrible this year, and he's going to shut them out tonight. I know it. So just think the opposite of my prediction. It's probably going to happen.
Say Rizzo finally homers, but the Yankees score a combined 6 runs over the 3-game series. Stacy, you're dying laughing back there. I saw that the whole way, unfortunately. Of course, the video is playing. Stacy, you were right, but wrong.
I was right about Taillon. I told you.
Yeah, but that wasn't your prediction. So I'm going to have to give you another half a point.
That's fine, but I was right.
You were right, but you were wrong because it wasn't your official prediction. You said the Yankees were going to sweep, and they lose 2 of 3. You did that for the Cardinals series too. So yeah, Rizzo did not go deep, but he did pick up that RBI on Sunday. And I was right about 6 runs. It just happened to be in one game. They had 6 runs on Saturday. So I'm not going to give myself a point. Stace, I'll give you the half. I'm still ahead 2-1 in the predictions so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hey, miraculous. You did say it.
I knew it. I had a feeling.
Stacy, quickly, of course, we're going to talk about this a little bit later on in the week. We're going to talk about this on tomorrow's show, but I wanted to get your thoughts. Dillon Lawson fired, Yankees hitting coach. Your thoughts on that?
He's not the only problem. And Cashman's statement about it was laughable, but we'll talk about that later in the week because I have a whole lot of thoughts. But I just thought it was hilarious that he's the fall guy, and it's like
we need a whole 10 minutes on that.
Oh yeah,
I'll give you my thoughts. Obviously, the Yankees are going to need to find a replacement for that position, which they have not. They obviously have other coaches that were helping him out. Dillon Lawson, that is. So I mean, it's just a bummer because he did nice things for the organization last year. But that's how she goes sometimes. It does feel a little scapegoaty. We asked Locked On Yankees viewers on YouTube as well. We'll reveal those results tomorrow to see what people say about him. We'll take some comments from our YouTube side as well. Busy weekend. Busy weekend. Of course, we're heading into the All-Star break. The Yankees need some time off. You can drop your questions for Fan Mail Friday. We're still doing that on Friday. As always, our subtext information is down below if you want to skip the line as well to be a part of our Locked On Yankees Fan Mail Friday episodes. Of course, it's Minors Monday, so let's talk about the All-Star Futures game and some incredible pitching performances this past week.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding, because sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react the way we do until we talk through things. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime you want with no additional charge. Find balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/lockedonmlb today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedonmlb.
Back now here on Locked On Yankees. Hey to the everydayers out there. Of course, we are in the middle of the MLB Draft, so we'll have a full analysis of the Yankees portion of the MLB Draft coming up on Wednesday's show, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss that. Of course, you can catch the entire season this year of the Yankees here on SiriusXM, as you guys already know. It's Minors Monday, as you guys already know. For that as well, we wanted to take a look at the future of the Yankees here today, as we always do on our Monday shows. Of course, on today's Minors Monday, we got to talk about the Futures game. The MLB Futures game was this past Saturday. National League came out on top. That doesn't matter much, but there were two Yankees prospects out in full force this past weekend. Clayton Beeter, the number 13 prospect, ended up going 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout in that contest, threw only 9 pitches to the only hitters that he ended up facing. Clayton Beeter has been on a meteoric rise throughout the Yankees system. His stuff has played really, really well, and he's been extremely impressive in his short time in the Yankees system. So it's really nice to see him get the stage here in Seattle over the weekend, and it was just great to see him to be able to pitch in that. He wasn't the only Yankees rep. Of course, Spencer Jones was also in full force, ended up going 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. He went first to third on a single. And of course, look, these are one-off, short little quick games and little spurts of it, but it's nice to see them get the recognition. We've talked about them this season, both of them, as a matter of fact, both Clayton Beeter and Spencer Jones here on this show. And I think what's really interesting, and I kind of wanted to hark onto this, is the Yankees, when they gotten these representatives over the last couple of years, like, that has kind of showcased how close they are to the majors at this point. Last season in 2022, of course, Ken Waldichuk was pitching in the Futures game. Jason Dominguez was in that game. He's now in AA, and of course, Anthony Volpe was also in that game last season. And I think the state of the Yankees farm system, even considering the trades that they made at the deadline in 2022, is still in a pretty strong state. And there's some really exciting prospects coming up through the system. A couple more we're going to detail out here today. But again, seeing Beeter, seeing Jones, it's just great to see that recognition of their talent levels. And the future is definitely very bright for the Yankees. And again, we're going to detail out some of those guys here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Drew Thorpe did here for Hudson Valley this past week. On July 3rd, 5 innings, 4 hits of shutout baseball, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Just a solid line overall for Drew Thorpe. His changeup was looking great. It was his go-to pitch with 2 strikes, and again, 8 strikeouts in that contest. And Drew Thorpe is he's just on one this season. A guy that we haven't, to be fair, really talked about much, just because of the strength of the Yankees pitching in the minors right now from the starter front. Drew Thorpe has struck out 7 or more batters in 7 straight starts. That's entering play on Sunday. Full disclosure, we have to record before Sunday's action gets underway. He is actually scheduled to start on Sunday to wrap up before the All-Star break in the minors. And remember, this is Drew Thorpe's first year in professional baseball. He ranked 2nd in all of NCAA play in 2022 in strikeouts. He was an All-American at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. The Yankees drafted him in the second round, 61st overall last season. So this is the first time we get to see Drew Thorpe perform, the number 6 prospect in the Yankees system. The strikeouts, man, are impressive to say the least. And I think the most impressive part of it is that he's able to stay consistent by racking up the strikeouts. You'll see guys that obviously have one-off games that just come out of nowhere. They'll strike out 9, they'll strike out 10 out of nowhere. But Drew Thorpe, again, 7 straight starts entering Sunday with 7 or more strikeouts. So that's obviously extremely impressive to see out of the young starter. And he's not to be outdone, but maybe to be outdone. A guy that, weirdly enough, I think we haven't even talked about this season. Again, just based on the strength of the Yankees pitching in the minors, Chase Hampton. The number 24 prospect out in Somerset this year. Of course, Somerset Patriots pitching staff has been ridiculous this season, and we've seen it all year. And Chase Hampton has quietly been one of those guys as well. He struck out 10 in his outing against Reading this week. It was the 4th time this season that Chase Hampton struck out 10 batters, which is a career high for him. Not only that, but he did it in just 5 innings this time out. That's the shortest outing in which Chase Hampton has struck out 10 batters in a game here this year. And this coming from the notes here over the weekend, Chase Hampton's 103 strikeouts lead the Yankees organization, excuse me, and are the 3rd most in minor league baseball. Of course, after that strikeout, of course, things fluctuate and change as we move through the weekend. A lot of minor leaguers performing, of course. But yeah, I mean, 3rd most in minor league baseball. This is more coming from the Somerset Patriots. His 1.04 whip and 195 opponent average also leads the Yankees farm system overall. And that 10 strikeout performance, we mentioned, the Somerset pitching staff is just out of left field this season, just incredible this season. And we knew it was going to be that case when we saw the rosters announced to begin the season. He's not the only one with 10 strikeout games this season for Somerset alone. Blaine Abeda, Clayton Beater, the aforementioned, and Richard Fitz. Just guys are racking up strikeouts at Double-A. And as we've seen with someone like Will Warren, who got called up to the Rail Riders this season, of course, Clayton Beater's also up there now. But as we've seen, the Yankees have talked about how they wanted to push a guy like Will Warren to the AAA ranks to see how he would react to more disciplined hitters. We heard Sam Breen talk about that. We detailed that last week on our Minors Monday segment. So I like what they're doing with these guys. Yes, the strikeouts and the results are definitely there, but I like when they start pushing him. So we'll see if Chase Hampton, we'll see if, guys like Richard Fitz, Blaine Abeda, if they push them in different directions to try and test them and see how they end up doing. And then there was one more thing, since we were super pitcher heavy here today, I wanted to give a little bit of love to my former employer in Scranton Wilkes-Barre. A wacky win on Friday night that ended in a walk-off for former national Wilmer Defoe.
2 outs. Here's the 2-2. Defoe connects out to left field. Peterson back at the warning track, and this is gone! A walk-off 2-run shot from Wilmer Defoe down to his final strike, and the Rail Riders, coming back from being down 7-0, win this game 9-8 in the 10th.
Just absolutely insane. A 7-run comeback for the Rail Riders, and you love to see it, man. You love to see it. The Rail Riders have had a bit of an up and down season, but it's great to see some guys performing and stepping up in a big way. So shout out to Wilmer Defoe and shout out to the Rail Riders. What an incredible way to wrap up the weekend here, and of course wrap up Minors Monday. We're going to step aside, of course. Coming up next, the Yankees have made their first round selection yesterday. Let's tell you about them when we come back.
Our new sponsor, Sleeper, is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Sleeper has become the fastest organically growing fantasy platform in the world with over 5 million active users. At Sleeper, it's not just about sports, it's about building personal connections and lasting memories. With Sleeper, predict the hottest baseball stats like home runs, hits, strikeouts, and much more to cash in on your daily fantasy baseball skills. Entries can be made in 30 seconds or less. It's that easy. Now, speaking of personal relationships and connections, I'm on Sleeper at Staceface 826 if you want to connect. Download Sleeper in your app store and use promo code Locked On, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 30 states. Check out Sleeper today.
Back here on Locked On Yankees, our final segment here on this Monday show. Hey, of course, the Yankees are off right now. Need a much needed breather. Everybody does. But you can catch the entire season on SiriusXM. You guys already know that. Just Google SiriusXM. You can download the SiriusXM app. You get a free trial, all that good stuff. Check it out once the Yanks return here this coming weekend. Stacey, the Yankees made their first round selection, the MLB Draft on Sunday. Paul Skeens, of course, goes number one to Pittsburgh. That was almost a no-brainer. It was up to him and Dillon Cruz. Dillon Cruz ended up going second overall, of course. First time, by the way, ever that the same school had the first two picks. That's awesome. I mean, what a freaking year
I know. LSU had a really good year.
They had 3 picks, by the way, 3 selections on Sunday. What an incredible year. The Yankees' first-round selection, 26th overall, ends up being George Lombard Jr. From Gulliver Prep High School in Florida. Stacey, former Locked On host Taylor Blake Ward is all prospects all the time, and he does incredible work. I totally trust everything he says. He really puts the time in for his scout stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and just read what his projections and everything that he has on George Lombard Jr. Again, shortstop, officially listed. Projectable toolsy infielder with MLB lineage, rhythmic right-handed hitter with barrel control and strength to tap into above average raw power, sound approach, but with some refinement, above average speed, instincts and arm for shortstop, but likely a third baseman future as he fills out. Stacey, we were talking about it. We kind of briefly mentioned it at the top there that yes, another shortstop. That's what he's listed as. You could maybe put him in the outfield. Like Taylor says, could potentially be a third baseman as well. So don't be freaked out because you're thinking, we got Volpe, we got Oswald, we got Oswaldo, we got Trey Sweeney. You know, like, yes, the strength is obviously there at short, but I think the Yankees, especially at this point in the draft of that first round, you're looking at going, I mean, you're always looking at best player, but especially as you go a little bit later, you can kind of fiddle with that a little bit to kind of fill out your organizational needs. Yeah. But first round, it's a little late to be at 26 going best player, but you're pretty much always going to go best player in the first round. So you can always move him. You never know what's going to happen to Trey Sweeney. You never know what's going to happen to Anthony Volpe. So the Yankees go with George Lombard Jr. I don't know why I keep saying Joe. It's been a long day. There was a live video on Locked On MLB Prospects that was doing the draft analysis live. Our good friend Lindsey Crosby was on that. Jeff Ellis from Locked On Guardians, who's also super, super prospect heavy, had this to say about George Lombard Jr.
6'3", 190, good size for a shortstop. Question for me is really going to be on Lombard. Can he, size-wise, can he stick at shortstop? Is he going to have to kick? He has the arm to handle the left side of the infield, but is it second base? Is it third base? Is it left field? But I think the bat's really good, and I think ultimately that's what matters. The Yankees have shown they're not afraid of a questionable fit with an arm at shortstop. You look at Volpe; his arm isn't fantastic, but he's making it work. Ever since he had chicken parm with Austin Wells, he's a much better hitter at the major league level now. And so George Lombard Jr., hit tool here. What's the power ceiling like defensively? Where does he play? But I think either way, he's young for the class. He kind of fits an age-based model, and it feels like it's going to be pretty good here.
Yeah, he's 24th on my board, and they got him at 26. So that's how where I see it. And as you mentioned, two of those fun indicators are bloodlines and age. He didn't turn 18 until June. And he's another kid who, like Namala, is kind of a willowy guy, but like you look at a lot of the data around him. I said he could have double plus power. Maybe I was being a little too on that, a little too plus on him, but wouldn't have put him at 24. It just he's already hitting the ball hard. He's a big kid. He's either 6'3" or 6'4". I thought he's going to probably be an outfielder, but yeah, it's a bet on power. It's after taking Spencer Jones last year and Austin Wells the year before that, they've been on a power kick, and it's another guy to add to that. And if he can stick it short, great. You always run him out there and see what can happen first.
Yeah, and honestly, look at what Oswaldo Cabrera's done. If he's a good enough shortstop, he can play almost anywhere. He can play. Cabrera's played just about everywhere. He even got reps at first base last year when Rizzo was questionable, like during batting practice and things like that. So obviously could be just about anywhere.
So again, that was a live clip taken from the draft day analysis, the Locked On draft day analysis. We're going to have a full look, by the way, in a couple of days. Once the draft is over on Tuesday, we'll take a look at what the Yankees did, what their direction was. The Yankees obviously could use some left-handed pitching in the system as well. So we'll see if that's the direction they end up going. Make sure to hit subscribe for a full draft analysis here in the coming days. We have plenty of info coming your way. It's a busy week. The Yankees aren't playing, Stace, but it's a busy week, especially now with this Dillon Lawson news. So we got plenty to talk about here in the coming days.
Weren't we afraid? We were afraid of thinking, there's really not a lot for us to talk about because it's not like the Yankees are sending a bunch of guys to Seattle. And thank you, Brian Cashman, for firing Dillon Lawson. I feel bad for Lawson. Again, scapegoat. We'll talk about it. And one more thing about George Lombard Jr. He sounds like he should be a politician with that name. It doesn't sound like a baseball name.
I heard Lombard, and I don't know why. I was like, Yankee. I don't know why. Again, we'll talk about it a little bit more once the full analysis and first full draft is over. That's in the coming days. So again, make sure to hit subscribe. And that's going to just about do it for today's Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Granado.
And I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. We'll see you tomorrow.